Thank you. The order of my presentation goes thus. I'll be having an overview of my presentation. I'll be doing an introduction. We'll be taking a snip look at the research topic, as well as the problem statement, the methodology and research design, the expected outcome, and the prospective conclusion, as this is a prospective research proposal as well as a prospective conclusion and expected outcomes. These are all proposal and they are not intended to be a conclusion or a real research outcome. The capability approach is simply a framework by Amartya Sen and Martha Nussbaum. It's all just basically focus on how humans being or how the community of people can do better and we can be better with our potential and capabilities rather than looking at it from the perspective of um, the gender of people, the class of people, and as well as the resources and the income that is available to every human. Martha and Sen make us understand that the focus of the capability approach should be more on what people can do and what they can be. Hi, my name is Oladapo Rasul, and I will be presenting my presentation on capability approach, and I will be using this with a research proposal. The articulation of the capability framework is very dynamic, which is articulated in several dimensions. For the sake of this short presentation and our time, it's basically on eliminating inequality, people-centered development, result orientation in practicality and outcome, a holistic well-being of the human race or the humankind, male or female, a practical application of what has been said earlier, and also human empowerment. There are so many other gaps that has been found, which are safety concerns, inability to provide free education, and the failure of the universal basic education in that northern part of. Current policy in Nigeria education focuses on infrastructure enrollment, and there have been so many failures to address the cultural, the economic, and the societal constraint that education has caused or has brought or has make education deficient. Um, the capability approach, like I said earlier, emphasize fundamental human rights and opportunities. And I believe that by centering on what girls can achieve and the barriers they face, I believe that the practicality or the concept or the school of thought of capability approach can address these critical gaps and can ensure that policies are inclusive, equitable, and can be transformative. Nigeria. The relevance of the capability approach is that it's able to center the lived experiences of our respondents, which are the teachers, the policymakers, and most importantly, the girl child, to be able to inform more inclusive and effective intervention. Uh, the methodology and research design is very, very important to for every researcher, even though this is a proposed research and it is open to correction, re-evaluation, and before there can be a final adjudication of the right um, research design methodology, as it has been said in my earlier courses in research design 3, that a proposal is just a proposal and it's just the initiation of something greater. We are going to adopt a qualitative research design. The propose is to propose 40 to 30 participants, while the capability approach, I believe, will be a framework that is able to provide interpretation and finding, that is able to focus on the fundamental freedom and opportunities. I also believe that this methodology will explore and measure capabilities and functions by capturing the real life experiences through semi-structured interviews, focus groups, as well as understanding the facilitators and some of the other key players and functions. I believe that the capability approach will ensure that the findings is focused on freedom, is focused on achievement, and is focused on developing the female girl child. Uh, well, I believe that this proposed research problem statement and research topic is able to close some research gaps. Number one, delve into the lived experiences. Number two, we contextualizing the policy and recommending new policy. And number three, the capability-based evaluation. First of all, as I said in the overview, that we'll be looking at it from the fundamentals of the capability approach. The section of this presentation provides a clear, concise introduction of the capability approach. We are going to look at the key concepts, setting the stage for deeper understanding and exploration of how the capability approach is applicable in the social welfare, in the human development, and also in the international human rights perspective and school of thought. Attention to the capability attribute is freedom. Freedom determined by the real opportunity individuals have to pursue their goals, as well as to abstain and to be exonerated or to live in a place that is absent in poverty, in discrimination, in lots of the basic human resources. The capability also has the dimension of the agency. The agencies are individuals' human resources and processes that are able to provide choices and are able to shape the possibilities to become who we are meant to be. The topic of the research topic proposal is exploring the lived experience of adolescent girls in West Africa. Basically, this is going to be in Nigeria and the northern part of Nigeria. We have over 4 to 5 states, and above that in the northern part of the West African country of Nigeria, regarding the barrier on facilitators to educational access. The capability approach have a context in the social welfare of human development. Number one, which is to address inequality. Number two, the holistic well-being, as had been said earlier. Number three is also empowerment of agency. These are individuals who promote participatory decisions and make and design policies that is able to enhance human well-being and the human race. The practicality is very, very important and set at the center of it all, because the practical application just make it much more applicable and much more robust. The practicality look at healthcare, gender, alleviation of poverty, policy and guidelines that is able to guide, more importantly, the centeredness of the proposed research topic, which is education. The research design for the capability approach, I believe that it's going to enable and also eliminate so many things that is making a shortfall to the emancipation or the growth of the girl child. There are so many prospective impacts on the policy and practice. The first one is capability-based evaluation. The second one is lived experience. The third one is contextualized recommendation. I believe that this is going to lead to potential policy impact, and I also believe that this is going to lead to a potential practical impact of the policies. More important, the overview of my topic we are able to apply to the capability approach is simply access to education for girls in rural West Africa. Like I said, centered on the northern part of West Africa country of Nigeria. It is vital within the scope and light of capability approach because the impact of education on the female child is very, very important to freedom, to fostering expansion, to fostering the well-being of the female child, and the availability of the right resources for them to access the right thing of life and to be who they can be. The summary of my presentation is that the capability approach focuses on freedom and functions, and it also offers powerful lens to address the educational inequalities, educational inequity, educational gaps, educational challenges that is in the northern part of Nigeria, specifically on policies, and is going to ensure that there's inclusiveness there and there's transformative education outcomes for the female girl child. The individualized and the average perspective of the capability approach on my research topic is very, very important because the individual capabilities focus on individual rather than the average school of thought that all focus on the well-to-do of the community or the high end or the better people in the community, which is also one of the challenges in the northern part of Nigeria, according to the many literature reviews I have encountered. I believe that there will be absence of overlooking, there will be prioritizing of real opportunities. I believe that it will lead to inclusive growth and as well as interventions. There are so many other gaps and there are so many authors that has gone ahead to write in these areas. Among them are Okeke and Nwanli, Afolayan, Eze et al. And Abdulrahman et al. 2001. Most of these authors, aside from these gaps, they also highlighted the economic constraints such as poverty and the cost of schooling, the inadequacy for leaders to address policies, and that has left many families that have the girl child that are not able to prioritize education. Currently, I have a proposed research problem, a proposed research statement, which is that because several other authors and researchers has worked on this research topic that is similar to this research area, as it has been highlighted in the in-text citations of the introduction. My understanding so far on the synthesis and the literatures I've gathered have made me to come up with the problem statement that it is not known how adolescent girls in rural northern Nigeria experience and navigate the complex interplays of barriers and facilitators that is related to the educational access. This is simply to put that we do not know the role of those agents, the role of the processes, the human factor. We do not know how they play a role and act as a barrier to facilitating access to right education, which was one of the things we highlighted as one of the important pillars of capability approach. The access, the freedom to be able to have ability to use some basic things of human rights. I believe that the importance of the capability approach is enormous and it is applicable to every other sectors in education, in policy, and in all of that. And I believe that prioritizing the capability approach fosters inclusive growth, ensure policy that is going to promote genuine well-being, leading to a lasting social transformation for the girl child in the northern part of Nigeria, and it can also be a model for Nigeria, for Africa, and for West Africa. There are many concepts that we are going to quickly look at in this presentation. The first one is the function of the capability approach and the capabilities of the capability approach. The functions make us understand that what we are to do or what we are able to be is very, very important. Health, education, access to basic human rights, as well as the capability, which focuses on the freedom of speech, freedom of expression, as well as the opportunity a person can achieve in various functions of life. Another dimension